I take this opportunity to express Wing Commander Dr. Koteswara Babu, he's a, who is a bachelor's in engineering, master's in technology, MBA, PhD in FEC, FIE, MIIM. His executive summary consists over 37 years of broad-based experience in engineering operations and management roles, expertise in standardization of operations and quality practices, proven abilities in urban infrastructure, aviation and service delivery areas, sound technical background in the identification of system effectiveness and process capability, a continuous learner with BE, MTech, MBA, and PhD degrees, determined mind frame with strong focus, confidence, dedication, and passion to excel, an accepted team leader with excellent succession management skills, education, doctorate in construction management with master's in business with specialization in marketing, master's in technology from Indian Institute of Technology in Industrial Engineering and Management, and with a CGPA of 9.33 received with coveted medal and other awards of excellence. Best Flight Engineer of the course, IIT Kharagpur medal for being best in the course, Chief of Air Staff commendation for modification to Kaveri reheat pump oil system, recommended for President's medal for completing rehabilitation, renovation of airbase after the devastating earthquake in Bhuj, rated as an asset for the appointments held throughout service in all organizations. Very warm welcome, delighted to have you, Wing Commander Dr. Koteswara Babu, sir. Please
go ahead. Thank you, Dr. Manoj. I shared my screen. I think you are able to see that.
Yes, it's starting now. Yes, we can. Yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah. At the outset, I thank my guide, Dr. Prakash Divakaran, the conference chairman, and Professor M.N. Nawale, the founder and president of Singad Institutes, and his family members, and all the organizing committee members of this international conference on material energy, environment for sustainable development 2021. Dr. Manoj sir has introduced, so I don't need a further introduction on that. So the sustainable development is a thing that has been taken as a thesis of my PhD under the guidance of Dr. Divakaran, where I will touch again. So there have been many definitions of sustainable development where they say it has to factor social, environmental, economical things for value addition and viability for the future generations. But I have found very interesting thing during the process of my study. Of course, this is also in the same meaning and the context. A development that suffices the needs of the current situation without bargaining the potency of future generations to suffice their own needs. Brownlands Report 1987. Now coming to these sustainable practices. Incorporation of sustainable practices, be in food generation, industry, and building construction has become a necessity and is no more a choice today. It is survival and moral responsibility of everyone on this earth to make it a way of life, to ensure sustainability of materials, water, and environment for future generations. If we do not do that, we can be rated as selfish to ourselves and not worried about our successes. Now, from the time immemorial, we have the three basic needs that are being talked about as food, clothing, and shelter. And this needs no further emphasis. But in my terminology, I put them as static needs because there have been many dynamic needs that have been witnessed in the recent past due to technology or whatever it is. Other human needs have been increasing and hence they are not dealt here. However, in my considered opinion, communication should be the first important need. It is because of that I am privileged to be in front of you all today. Food, the first primary need. The ever-increasing population is a serious threat with reduction of arable lands and associated deforestation. This means that we need to increase our yield per acre using modern technological practices. I am very sure that in the recent past, most of our farmers with large parcels of land have resorted to new agri-tech practices. There has been practices from Israel and for West European countries where they have started yield even 8 to 12 times in some areas. I know I'm working with few of them. They are in Karnataka and all over the India. The worrisome for India is of small farmers because it is not viable for that small farmlands of 0.5 acres to 1.5 acres, whatever it is, to bring this particular technology into practice. So the pooling is the only solution for that. Government needs to involve itself. Another concern in this area, which can be topic of agricultural engineers of future, is sustainability of fertility in soils and regenerative techniques and effective utilization of water and water treatment solutions. Now let me touch the second need. The second need is the clothing, which can be dealt as an industrial requirement or industrial output, be it home industry or the small scale industry or any large scale textile industry. These days, laid down norms are stringent by the PCB for compliance by any type of industry, and more so by process industries like textiles, chemical, and pharmaceuticals. Yes, the question is how sincere and concerned are the owners? Are they implementing engineering practices to ensure sustainability of environment, or are they managing sustainability of personal wealth? We have the responsibility of making anyone and everyone. I am not only emphatic here to make you all understand the seriousness, but also request with a folded, take this an area of social responsibility, because I have been witnessing serious concerns about the affluent and all. So I'll be coming. So please be a vigilance officer like, do not leave only to officials. Disposal of effluents and managing waste without adequate treatment has become a serious problem in India. Even though there is noise here and there, but things do happen. Effluents are let out into drains without proper treatment, which seriously affects the health of the sanitation workers, animals, and other ways which I want to restrict here and leave it for your understanding. Let me bluntly put it that this is a silent and unpublicized virus that can be many more times detrimental than the present corona pandemic. Shelter, the third primary need. Urbanization is a serious threat to this area. It is estimated by 2030 that about 60% of the world population shall be in urban conglomerates, consuming 75% of global energy consumption, thus increasing carbon footprints in the form of carbon dioxide and other dangerous emissions. Though the green building concept is much talked about, without a concern for sustainability, we have an industry monitor, something like GRIHA, which is rated as Green Rating for Integrated Habitat Assessment. This is a government body like the Pollution Control Board for taking care of building construction industry. Having done my thesis with guidance of Dr. Prakash Devakaran in this area of sustainability in construction, so GRIHA on a broader scale has been, I am highlighting few topics, a few points that are very apt, because most of us are looking at owning a house or owning some properties and all. So that's the reason I have more covered this in a deeper, on a broader scale. The system, along with activities and processes that lead up to, will benefit the community at large with improvement in the environment by reducing greenhouse gases, reducing energy consumption, and the stress on natural resources. Some of the benefits of green design to a building owner, user, and the society as a whole are as follows. Reduced energy consumption. We are seeing smart meters being installed in various states. It's already started in most of the states. And tomorrow, smart water level indicators, so that the leaks and that everything will be arrested. So reduce destruction of natural areas, habitats, and biodiversity, and reduce soil loss from erosion. Reduced air and water pollution, reduced water consumption. This is where I was telling about the water meters. Limited waste generation due to recycling and reuse, reduced pollution loads, increased user productivity, and enhanced image and marketability. These are the concepts or the objectives of Griha, which I touched upon. Now, the goal of sustainable construction practices is to reduce industry's impact on the environment. Sustainable construction methods include plan to use renewable and recyclable resources, optimal use of existing equipment with respect to energy consumption and waste management, reduced to the extent possible, planning environmentally friendly projects, targeting greenfield projects, smart city projects, protecting the natural environment, all above thereby present the need of a good supply chain management to achieve sustainable construction. So pillars of sustainable construction include information openness, reduction in variability, synchronizing of material moves, managing of crucial assets, and construction of a good supply chain management. So I'll show a typical diagram where the supply chain how the supply chain management works here, from vendors, ports, to the transportation, to the warehousing, again transportation to the factory for products that will be used in construction, and the products being warehoused and finally reaching the customers. So there's a two-way flow information. This kind of things in this in industry, whichever industry we take, will be able to have the sustainability to some extent, or to a greater extent, I can say. Now let me come back to the college, that is SKN Singhat College of Engineering. Addressing the students, I would like to highlight a few things about the engineering engineers as techno-commercial managers of the future. So being an engineering student primarily and then turned into management, I'll not say I'm capable of addressing these transformations to youngsters. 70% of cases fall into subject category of engineers, while 30% into managers, while 30% only will remain as passionate engineers who are termed as professional engineers or engineering scientists. What happens is most of the engineers do turn into engineering managers in the future. So I have gone through a plethora of topics covered by the SKN Singhat College of Engineering, Pandharpur, that are very impressive. Each aspect of sustainability is comprehensively covered. So it is a choice of an engineer to select few topics in the interest of core subject engineering. Now, having chosen this, it is very essential that one involves completely. So being good at what you do is, of course, the first way you get noticed as an engineer. This means you must be good at college. Ideally, it is worth engaging in areas of application of principles learned during college to appreciate practical results, to refine engineering process from result-oriented experience for at least next 10 years, during which time you shall be climbing the ladder to transform into an engineering leader or engineering manager. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to highlight on two styles that we eventually adopt in life as an engineer or as an engineering manager. With due respect to all religions, may I please be permitted to dwell on Hindu mythology, which has two great epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata. The center story of both these books is around victory of good on evil, which as an engineer or engineering manager is professional satisfaction and positions of identity through intellectual application, hard work, commitment, and adopting legitimate ethical practices with moral ethos. In Ramayana, Rama is the best warrior of his side. He leads his army from the front, strategizes and directs different people to do things which all meet the objectives. His people are happy to follow orders and want to get all the appreciation for being the best executors. Ram sets direction and also tells people what to do during difficult times. Oh, one slide is missing, so sorry, I will have to, I'm sure. Now I touched upon the Krishna thing. Krishna is different. How he is different? Krishna tells Arjuna, I won't fight the battle. I won't pick up any weapon. I will only be there on your chariot as a charioteer. And he did what he said. He never picked up the weapon and he never fought. Still, Pandavas won the war and outcome was achieved. So what was different? Ram was leading an army of Vanaras who were not skilled fighters and they are looking for direction. While on the other hand, Krishna was leading Arjuna, who was one of the best archers of his time. While Ram's role was to show it and lead from the front, Krishna played the role of a coach whose job was to remove cobwebs from his protege's mind. Krishna could not teach Arjuna archery, but he could finally help him in seeing things from a different perspective. Now, I have touched this topic to drive the point that India needs more of Ramas. In India, Krishnas are on the rise to advise, guide others without adequate hands-on experience, unlike actual Krishna. This is not good for sustainability. Sustainability, there should be more Ramas, should have more Ramas and less Krishnas. So be like Rama, learn, lead to learn, and learn to lead. Also, as an engineer, keep these few points in mind. Be good at what you do and let people know. Be proactive and solution focused. Be self-aware. Appreciate difference. Mentor and coach the subordinates. Undercommit but deliver more. Network is not what we mention is getting into connectivity to understand things. It is the network to learn and establish for the future growth of our own self. So this is my thing to the, so here, this is here. Now coming to the conclusion, we have to remember today we are in an environment of unusual business. When I say this unusual business, this is not only due to pandemic, but otherwise also. So we have to work in an unusual way for ensuring sustainability. Hence, we need more Ramas from you and less Krishnas from us. Please use the communication that is made simpler through digital information, which as per me is the fourth need for ensuring sustainability of materials, energy, and environment for future generations. In the context of sustainability, I would like to apologize openly if I might have unknowingly abused the environment due to non-availability of digital information technology during my prime days. So I wish the students of Sindhgad institutes to make best use of this form for learning. Learning has the earning dovetailed in it, and so if sustainability is ensured, you still have the materialistic needs satisfaction that most of us are craving for. This is akin to having two birds at one shot. Please implement. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to make this keynote address. Any questions on this or any detailed explanations? I'm ready to explain.
Thank you very much, Wing Commander Dr. Koteswara Babu. Very nicely explained, taking the examples of Ramayana and Mahabharata, a real practical, thoughtful, and mind-provoking example. Very nice.
Thank you.